We don't recruit kids. We select the right ones for our program. You've got to be realistic with yourself. You need to make sure that you know the level at which you can compete at. You got a real good chance if you're a dang good player. Go get on that campus. Go find that prospect camp. And then guess what's going to happen? If I find a dude, I'll full scholarship. Loyalty and trust on a coaching staff is everything. I'm brainwashing them the right way. Go freaking take chances. Okay, so if your program goal number 6 is to win a national championship, how are you going to practice on the field? And the answer is...
You're listening to the Football Scholarship Podcast, the playbook for parents and athletes who want to secure the best football scholarships possible. From securing a D1 football scholarship in the SEC at Ole Miss at just £5,700, myself, to helping 83% of the athletes I mentor achieve football scholarship offers and 42% going Division I. I've learned countless lessons that I'll be sharing right here with you. Join me and my co-host Brian Overton, who has 15 years of D1 college football recruiting experience, as we interview top experts, successful athletes, and discuss current recruiting trends. Together, we'll help you navigate the recruiting process so you too can achieve your dream of running out of that tunnel in front of 100,000 screaming fans.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Love your bio. Very interested in the clarity of purpose stuff.
Well, I've been doing a lot of research on you too. I've been watching all the TikToks and everything. So I love it. I love what you're doing. I love what, I mean, we need more of this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people just don't get, it's an industry, it's a business, it's just like anything else. And if you don't know how to do the business the right way, you're missing out. You know, so I love the content, you know, how you're pushing it and everything.
That's interesting, man. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot. I am interested, though, from like a coach's perspective. How do you feel like that helps kind of you as a coach?
So I think you allowing me to get in front of people is a great thing. We still have to put that huge net out to go and get a bunch of kids, you know, but then we're going to whittle it down to the right ones. So you giving me this platform, I'm all for it.
I love it, man. You got the right mindset. I love that. I love your mindset around that. All right, man. Well, listen, I'm excited to kind of break into, you know, your experience and, 25 years. There's a lot of experience that you have, and how being at, Kentucky Christian and the head coach, and a lot of the stuff that you bring is a little different than a lot of other coaches. So can you kind of just share with me a little bit about how you're building Kentucky Christian? What's your kind of philosophy around building the program?
So number one thing is, and talks about shit. When I talk about relationships, it's totally different. It's about a cultural fit to the program. And if you're not a fit to Kentucky Christian University, I don't want to get too hung up on the Christian part of it, because people will say, well, they're a Christian university. That's why they, coach is always talking about a cultural fit. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll take Christian kids, but we'll take non-Christian kids as well. It's all about the fit in what we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? If you don't come in here and believe that our program goal number 1 is be a man of integrity. And if you cannot be a man of integrity, you're not going to be a good football player. Great people make great football players. Great football players that are not great people, they can hit the road. I don't care about those kids. Not that I don't care about those kids. They're just not the right fit. And that's where a piece of this recruiting thing, I want all of your viewers to understand that their job is to find their right fit. And they have to do their homework on KCU. If I don't do my homework on KCU, if I don't know what Coach Aubry stands for, what his goals are, what his purpose is, I need to know where I'm going within that program. If I don't know that program at all, and I go in there and I jump in, that's why there's so many people in the transfer portal. Because they just, they got a cool stadium. They got cool uniforms. That's what kids are looking at. Don't look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the culture. Look at the fit for the university. We've got 12 majors. That's it. If you want to be an engineer, you're not coming to KCU because we don't have engineering. But kids jump in because, I just want to play football. But that's the wrong way to look at it. We have to
Right.
at a cultural piece and a fit. We don't recruit kids. We select the right ones for our program. And that's going to switch year to year. Because right now, man, my quarterback room, we have 9 quarterbacks. I don't need it.
9
We have
quarterbacks?
9 quarterbacks. I don't need any more.
Dang.
So next year, we may not even take a quarterback. Now, here's the thing. Within the next 6 months, transfer portal hits. So how many of those 9 quarterbacks are going to be in the portal? You know what I'm saying? It's just it's an ever changing environment. I mean, I love it. I love how the transfer portal has changed everything, the whole environment. Everybody's like, well, we're not going to take transfers. Well, you know what? If you don't take transfers, guess what? You're way behind. It's a piece of it.
Yeah.
And the NIL and all of that too. I mean, if we don't jump into it and say, hey, this is just the changing climate of college football, no, we're not going to do it. Well, guess what? You ain't going to be a good program then. So it's all those things put together. We have to be ever changing. We have to have a mindset that we're going to continue to grow. If we stay stuck with our heels in the mud, we ain't going to change. We ain't going to build this program. But the hard thing is, you used to be able to have 3-4 years of building a cultural program. Now
Yeah.
we get 3 to 4 weeks to build a cultural program, and it is
Yeah.
what it is. So yeah, that's what you have
Yeah.
to do. So that's
Yeah, no, I love that. So how do you, when you say you select players that are the right fit, like what are you typically looking for? Like, okay, here are the 3 things or 2 things or whatever that you're looking for in a player. And I think you hit it nail on the head. It's like you got to be a great person to be a good, it's not just in high school, you could, talent, you just go play on the field and, none of the other stuff matters. But when you're going to college and you got school and you're not with your parents and you don't have someone on top of you and there's a lot that goes into that. So
correct.
what do you look for in a high school player when you're like that guy has these, however many things that we're looking for, we know he's going to fit in at Kentucky Christian.
Absolutely. So the first thing we do is, obviously we're gonna, like I talked about earlier, we're gonna put out a big broad net. We're gonna hit the nation and go, hey, this is who we are. This is Kentucky Christian. Get to know us a little more. So we're recruiting. We've got a huge number of kids that we're recruiting right now. The biggest thing that I want to do is get these kids on campus, because I want to see them face to face, eye to eye with their parents, and I want to meet them. And if I can't meet them, it's going to be really hard for me to give you a scholarship offer. That's the biggest thing, because I want to know who this kid is. Now, it's not going to happen that we get every kid on campus, okay? We have to recruit Florida, Texas, Colorado. And if they don't get to campus, we need to get on the phone. We need to talk. We need to find out who this kid is, okay? So number one, if you want to get recruited by Kentucky Christian, get on campus, okay? That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
So if you're a junior right now, we've got, prospect camps in the summer. Boom, get on campus. Let us see you compete. All right. So now you get on campus then, or we've got game day visits right now for seniors and juniors, so get on campus for a game visit. Just let me talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Authenticity is I'm going to get into some crazy things, but it's a frequency. When you send
Yeah.
off authenticity as a frequency, you can read it. You can read it. You can tell
Yeah.
if a kid's a good
Yeah.
kid or not. It's all about the
Oh yeah.
authenticity. You know what I'm saying? So you shake their hand, you talk to them, you get a good vibe with them. That's the number one thing that I think for any Division two, NAIA, FCS, get on campus so the coaches can meet you, so you can talk to them. That's the biggest thing. Now, obviously, you're going to look at size. You're going to look at but for us, fortunately for us, NAIA level, we are the level where if you're a dude and you can play, but you're 5'10", 205 pounds, and you're undersized, you can still be an All-American here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
FCS,
100%.
FBS, you're just not going to make it just because your length isn't
Yeah.
there, your weight isn't there, and that's okay, But we need to see this kid, we need to talk to them, and we need to make sure that they understand who we are. Okay. So yes, talent level, we're going to evaluate kids and we're going to make sure that we have great football players. Okay. But number two, we really need to chat with them. We need to talk with them and we need to see how authentic they are. So those are the number two, or those are two main things that I want to do and I want to see in the recruiting process. And we give them
Yeah.
plenty of time. We have, camps in the summer. We have game day visits. We have December, we'll have visit dates. January, we'll have visit dates. We give them plenty of time to get on campus to be able to talk with us for us to give them that offer.
Yeah, I love that. So one of the things that like I'm big on with the athletes that, that when I'm teaching them like how to handle camp invites and game day invites is like they'll get a lot of mass invites.
Sure.
And so one of the things that, we educate them on is really validating those invites and making sure that if you're getting an invite, that's awesome, but has the coach seen your game film, right? Do they, and reaching, and this is a thing, like reaching back out to that coach, asking them if they've watched your film. If not, asking them to watch their film. Make sure that you're a recruitable player for that school before you go to their camp, before you go to their, that's how you create your camp schedule. You create your game day visit. Make sure they're interested. They're not gonna, they might not be ready to offer you right then and there, and that's fine. But make sure, like, because there's some kids where they're just like, I'm going to all these game day visits, and I'm like, has the coach ever even watched your film? And they're like, no. I'm like, no, man, you can't do that. So, like when you're doing your game day invites and stuff, like that's one thing we teach is like, hey, reach back out to the coach, make sure they watched your film, make sure that they've said, okay, this is a game film that we can offer, right? This is a player that we can offer. We got to meet him. We got to meet him. We want to talk to him. Does he have the grades? Stuff like that. But having them watch that game. So how do you kind of handle that with all your coaches? And I don't know how you do your invites, but how do you typically go about your invites? But
Oh,
yeah, so how do you go about kind of handling? Does that make sense
yeah.
though? Because these kids are also running around with the chicken with their head cut
Yep.
off, right?
You got all these things that, oh, I'm going to get discovered. I'm going to get seen. I'm going to get, number one, you've got to be realistic with yourself. If you're a 5'10" receiver and you run a, 4.8 40, you're not going D1. You need to find the level that, I mean, and you may be a great receiver. You might have the stickiest hands ever. And that person might be a great addition to my program, but it's the NAIA level. It's not going to be, the D1 level. So they have to be realistic. And yes, always have that dream camp for sure. You know what I'm saying? But you need to make sure that you know the level at which you can compete at. So I would say a lot of these guys that you're talking about, yes, we are going to evaluate that film because we do need to find those diamond in the rough type guys that can catch everything. You may run a 4.8, doesn't matter. You catch everything, you're going to find yourself on the field. So they have to know, number one, like you said, they have to know that the coaches know that you're going to be there. So here's the thing. KCU runs a prospect camp and you reach out and you give them the film and you say, hey, I'm going to be at your camp. There's only 50 to 60 guys per prospect camp. We have 2 prospect camps, 50 to 60 guys in that prospect camp. We're going to evaluate all their film. Then we're going to see them on our field. You got a real good chance if you're a dang good player. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if you go
Exactly.
to the Lindenwood mega camp in St. Louis and there's 750 prospects there and all these D1 coaches are going to be there, but they're not going to watch your film. Go to the camps where you think that you can get those offers. And once again, I'm going to go all the way back to what I started with. Research the schools and find out if you are the right fit for that school. Go listen to the head coach talk. You can Google every head coach and hear a head coach talk. If he's talking and if he's saying things that you don't agree with, don't go to that school. That's you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You have to find
Or
that.
listen to this
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. There you go. but you can find any head coach in NAIA, D2, FCS, whatever. You can find them talking And if you agree with what they're saying and if you love what they're saying, go get on that campus. Go find that prospect camp and then be a part of that program. The biggest thing that our this group of this generation is they think they're just going to be the next find, and they're just going to jump in and they're going to get that FBS offer. And then guess what's going to happen? Even if they do get that FBS offer, are they even a fit for that program?
Parents of high school football players, you're probably already investing in private schools, trainers, nutritionists, camps, and travel, doing everything you can to help your son, but he's still not getting the level of exposure he deserves, and all that effort is going to waste. That's why I created the Football Scholarship Playbook, and inside are the exact step-by-step systems, scripts, and templates I used to earn a Division I SEC scholarship at Ole Miss at just 5'7" and 150 pounds, and that I now use to help athletes just like your son, where 89% of the players who follow this playbook earn scholarship offers. And right now, I want to send you a copy completely free. All that I ask is that you just cover shipping. So if that sounds interesting, click the link in the bio or go to gonextplay.com/free, grab your copy today, and give your son the proven system to earn the offers he deserves.
Maybe they jumped on, they get there and they hate it. I mean, we've all been in programs that we've hated before. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And now with the transfer portal, we're gone just like that, But back in the day, we stuck it out. Early 90s for me is when I was playing. So we just stuck it out. We just stayed there and we just kept on going until we were done playing. We didn't even think about transferring. But now the cost of transferring, the transcripts, everything that comes with transferring, find the fit for you, get into that program and make it great. That's the advice that I would give.
Yeah, I love that, man. No, that's good stuff. So what's your recruiting process with your coaches? Do you guys do like, a lot of people do that have the area coach model. How do you kind of go about structuring your recruiting process?
So what we'll do is in the state of Kentucky, we will do area code and we'll send guys out in different area codes. We've got 502, 270, 859, which is Lexington area, 606, which is Eastern Kentucky and everything. So I'll send coaches out for Kentucky. But when we go nationally, we go straight position because
Really? Okay.
I don't think that, I'm going to send a guy to Texas to get, every position and then bring it back. I just think we can recruit with social media now. I mean, there's so much, there's so many more ways of recruiting now than, with Twitter, with our ability to be able to reach kids everywhere. We don't have to go out so much. Now, there are parts. I coached for 1 year down in Southeast Texas at a high school down there, and I know all those guys down there. So I've got real good ties down there. We got a defensive tackle who actually played running back down there in that area, but he's playing D tackle for us, and he's starting right now, and he's just a dude. We gave him a real good scholarship, but there's pockets that we'll go to, So we'll just stay position wise. If we know of a quarterback in Texas that my quarterback coach likes, I'm going to allow him to recruit Texas. Just the quarterbacks in Texas. We've got a guy from Florida who our D-backs coach is from Florida. He knows a lot of guys in Florida, so he gets a lot of information and he'll just feed it to all the other coaches. So but state of Kentucky will go out to the different schools
Area.
and then we'll grab all the guys and then we'll come back and then we'll kind of, give them out to each guy and then we start hitting up by position. So I just like having that position coach go out and talk with those guys just because it makes it much more authentic because that's the guy you're going to be with the whole time anyway. Why should my quarterback coach be recruiting an offensive lineman when he's going to be with the offensive line coach the whole time? So I mean, it's different that our quarterback coach is the offensive coordinator, so he would be with him too. But I guess that was a bad example. For sure. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, some programs do straight position. So especially with, so with social media, are your coaches using a lot of like X, or how are they kind of going about finding players, and how do they, yeah, let's start
X
there.
X is the biggest one. I mean, everybody's on
Yeah.
Instagram. So we have a really big social media footprint within Instagram and X. Not so much X with our media stuff and everything. We really push it on Instagram because it's easier. It's an easier platform to see all the videos
Yeah.
and everything. But we've got a really good social media department. And the reason why I say that is because my social media director is my daughter. So she does
Oh, there you
she
go.
does an
Okay.
amazing job. She is extremely talented, and she really puts out some really good stuff. But that's why we put out so much stuff because she's constantly with me. We're constantly talking. We're constantly, she put on, it's a TikTok trend. I don't know if you saw our Instagram, but you're gonna have to take a look at it. It's a TikTok trend dance where one of our D tackles, it's the kid from Texas that I was talking about.
Okay.
He comes in, makes a sack, and gets up, and he does the TikTok trend. He did the little whip
Okay.
with the hand, and then went down, and then whip
Yeah. Yeah.
again. And my
Yeah.
daughter comes up, and she goes, "Hey, that's a TikTok trend." And I go, "What?"
Yeah.
She goes, "Yeah, can I put that on?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" So just the
Do
little
it.
things like that. She knows all that stuff. And that got like a ton of views, and it got a ton of likes and a lot of comments and everything. And we're just growing on social media because of the trends and everything. So recruiting wise, Instagram, we push because we have a lot of content, and everybody around the nation can look at that content. But as far as coaches, we're on X.
Yeah.
And
Because of the
it's
DMs.
yes, exactly. That's what it is. We follow a kid, he follows us back. Now we're DMing crazy, So
Yeah.
yes, our recruiting footprint is on X, but our social media content would be more on Instagram, which is goknights.fb. So at goknights.fb Instagram, and then X is at goknightsfb.
Got it. So, by the way, everybody, go and follow.
And that's why I
I'm
said it.
looking it up. I think I just found your Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check it out for sure. Cool. No, that's good stuff. One of the things, Coach, that we really harp on with the guys, and you said this, so I kind of want to tie this in, is like when you're reaching out, like you do your research, and when you're reaching out to a school and a coach, you're reaching out to that school because you did some research, you're interested in XYZ program at the school, you're interested in XYZ coach, you looked at the coach's bio. You got to do some research, right? And then when you reach out, you really got to customize, whether it's a DM or an email or both. We tell them to do both, but you got to customize it, right? And keep it simple. So when you're getting like what do you like when you get outreach from a player? Because like some of those softwares and those huge
Yep.
emails, and you're like,
Yep.
a lot of coaches that I know, they just say they delete it, or they put it in an all review later folder that they never review or
Sure.
something. So what do you like to get from players that you're like, you know what, I'm going to spend time on this kid and spend a minute of my life and watch his film, versus the other 150 emails you get where you're like, no, I don't have time.
So the best thing that I ever did was I don't put my personal email on our website. So my email is, such and such at kcu.edu. Under my name, it's kcufb at kcu.edu. Okay. All of the guys that email me go to that. But here's what a lot of people don't know. If it emails back that from the KCU FB account, it says recruiting staff, KCU recruiting staff or whatever. That's the signature. But
Yeah.
I actually run the account. So it's up on my computer every day. Okay. So whether it's not my personal KCU account, but I see
Yeah.
it every day. So to that point though, if the kid is personal about who he is, that's what I love. I love
Yeah.
hearing, "Hey coach, I looked more on your website and I really like how
Yes.
you do this." You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the funny thing. There's so many emails that you get, and it says, "Hey, coach, I really like UVYs because," and it's coming to me, and I'm like, "Dude, you
Oh,
didn't
they're
even
not even
change the
sending the right.
name."
Yeah.
So most
At least change the name,
right,
but even if it's generic, because like I mean, I get sales
right,
emails,
right,
right? And I get that. I have someone that checks my emails now, but every now and then I'll jump in there and I'm like, customize
right,
the damn
right,
thing. You know what I
right.
mean? Like make it like you did
Yes,
research.
but if they do, and all they got to do is a little research. Just look at our website for 2 minutes. You know
Go to the coach's bio.
exactly.
Just go to the coach's
That's
bio.
it.
Find something in their bio.
Just
Hey,
something.
coach, got
Yep, just something real small. And I like but I will. We do respond to every email that we get now. And here's the thing.
wow.
Okay,
Okay. That's very rare, just so you know.
and now
Very rare.
it's either coming from me or I do have GAs that monitor it as well. But here's what we do. Okay, every email that's sent to us, we will respond. It may not be a personalized email, but it will say, "We'd love to get to know you more. Fill out the recruiting questionnaire." And we send the link. If they fill out that recruiting questionnaire, it's going to go to our system. We have a scaling engine system that their name goes right into it and they become one of our recruits. So if they weren't
Yeah.
on that list before, they start getting all the information, all the game day visits, all the December visit dates, they're going to get all that stuff if they fill out the recruiting questionnaire. But if they don't fill out the recruiting
Yeah.
questionnaire, they're not going to get any of that. So all
Yeah.
they got to do is, send a nice email. We will respond to it. And if they're 26s, we're actually asking them to apply for school right now. Hey, we'd love to get to know you more. Hit the link below and apply. Once they apply, boom, they go right into our system and now they become a recruit. And then we ask them, hey, get on campus. If they get on campus, there's the funnel. The funnel's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And if they respond to that email, then they get the email to get on campus. There's the funnel getting closer. Now they get to campus. Funnel's getting tighter. Now we're getting smaller and smaller amount of kids that we actually have to talk to and recruit because they're doing everything we're asking them to do. So in our program, that's what we're looking for. Guys that do everything the right way. So if they continue in that funnel, they may not be the greatest football player. However, they're doing things the right way. So they're guys that we want on our team. That's
Yeah.
kind of how the
So
funnel works.
yeah, they're coachable.
Correct. Exactly. And if you're a great
But let
player but not a great person, hit the road. That's not what we're looking for.
but let me ask you a question on that though, because like I said, one of the things we're big on is like, hey, do you do the questionnaire up front? You know what I mean? But before like doing visits and stuff like that, we're really big on like making sure that there's coaches who have watched their video and there's a potential
Sure.
interest, right? So when kids reach out to you and say, hey, I filled out the questionnaire, I got an invite, I'm really interested. However, I want to make sure that there's an opportunity down the road if I were to make the trip or if I were to, is that when you would get on a call with them or watch their film? Like,
There
how
you
do you kind
go.
of go about
That's what
that?
we're going to do. If they sign up for a visit, we're watching their film. So they know that if they sign up for that visit, we're going to watch their film. If we really like them, boom, we'll get on the phone. We'll say, "Hey, this kid's a dude." So now
Yeah.
we flag him and we go, "Okay, this guy's coming to campus and he's a dude." But now we may, as throughout all the different ways that kids come in, the X and everything, we'll watch film on X right away because it's right there. But if
Yeah.
if they come in and they decide to visit, we are watching that film, and a lot of times we'll watch it as a staff, and then we'll know exactly what we want to do with that kid when he comes in. So there's
Right.
there's a lot of, and that's why I say you got to get on campus. You got to find the schools that fit you, and then get to campus. And for us,
Yeah.
we can't pay for their visits, But what we do is our admissions department, if they come on a visit, and every visit that we have, our admissions department has a presentation that they give them, just about admissions process and everything. And the cool thing about that too is my wife is the admissions director, so she's the one that comes in and
Oh,
talks to
really? It's your whole family.
them. Yeah. So
Your
anyway,
whole family.
um, so she gives the admissions um, uh, presentation and everything. Admissions gives them a $500 scholarship just for listening to that. So your visit is paid for with a scholarship. We can't pay for your visit, but if you decide to come here, you got a $500 scholarship. So
Right.
it's all
That's
kind
cool.
of, it all kind of works together, and we don't pay for the visit right up front, but eventually it does come around and you get it paid for. So it's kind of a cool opportunity for them to get on campus and get a scholarship for it.
Right. That's cool. That's a legit little kind of
Yeah.
workaround there. It happened. Okay. I'm very like, how did you end up with 9 quarterbacks? That's a lot of freaking
I'll tell you
quarterbacks. How
why.
do you keep
I'll
that?
tell you why. Because 2024, we only had two. The whole season, we had two quarterbacks.
That's risky.
I mean, we didn't do it on purpose. It was just that guys left, and it was, and me and my quarterback coach just sat down and said, "Listen, we ain't ever going through that again." So he just really hit the trail hard, and we got a lot of good dudes. And then the crazy part is, we had a guy show up a week before camp, and he was a transfer, and he was coming in and just said, "Hey, I just want to visit. I want to, see what you guys are all about." And we were like, "Okay, come on in." So I talked to him, and we, had my QB coach wasn't even on campus and everything, and our running back coach showed him around, and I came in and talked to him and everything, and good kid and everything from Lexington. And we were like, "Okay, yeah, we like you, nice kid, nice family and everything." 2 days later, he says, "Yeah, coach, I'm coming." We're like, "All right, good. We got another quarterback." He's our starter. He is
Wow.
he
Okay.
is lighting up the conference. We are like top in all passing and offensive efficiency. He's 73% completion percentage. Jackson Wasik is his name.
Wow.
He's a freak.
That's big
He's
time.
a freak, and he just showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
That's crazy.
love him. And he's a cultural fit, though. That's the thing. And the school that he went to before, he wasn't a fit, and he knew it,
Yeah.
and he struggled with with
Yeah.
his grades and everything. He's like a 3.6 right now. We just had
Oh, he's there.
yeah, he's in the right spot. So
So grades. Let's talk about grades. Like, because a lot of programs are like, hey, you gotta get grades, right? It makes it easier to offer and stuff
for
like
sure.
that. Do you have like a threshold when it comes to grades of what you're looking for, or?
Obviously, we've got a 2.5 is what they have to have to get into the school. All right. So,
Yeah.
but we want to hover around that 3.0 threshold. If you're sitting right at that 3.1, 3.2, I mean, even 2.7, 2.8, at least you're working on your grades. You know what I'm saying? At least we know that you're
Yeah.
you're you're doing something. When you get down 2.1, 2.2, those guys it doesn't mean anything to them, and that's not who we want to recruit. And so
Yeah.
we're going to look at that. Unfortunately, I did see McKendry's coach talk about stacking, which is you get your athletic scholarship and then your academic. We don't
Yeah.
stack here. That's the unfortunate thing. So if you get an athletic scholarship, that's all you get. We can't stack. So it would be nice.
Why is that? Is it the Christians? Is it because it's a?
So to be honest with you, we're a small school. We have
Yeah.
we are like 95% athletes on campus. So
Oh,
so
really?
every
Interesting.
student on campus, pretty much every student on campus is an athlete. Either you're a baseball player, football player, basketball player, soccer, softball, whatever.
That's kind of
It's
cool.
it, it's it is cool in a certain aspect. Um, but Kentucky Christian University, we're a Bible and ministry school as well. So if you're not an athlete, you're a Bible or ministry student, you know. So it's just kind of a cultural clash sometimes. But
Yeah, I can see that.
here's what it is. Bible and ministry, they don't have a lot of students, so it's a smaller percentage. A lot of schools are able to stack because they have a normal student population much greater than the athletic population. So our athletic
I see.
population is so much we can only give athletic scholarships. If we had, 2,500 students here, 2,000 of them are normal students and 500 are athletes. Now we
Right,
can
right.
stack because the majority of the money that's
You
coming
got
in is
the
from normal
regular.
students. Does that make sense? So
100%.
that's
That makes
that's
sense.
why, we're just kind of
How many kids go there?
we're just over 600.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's
So it's still a pretty
yeah,
small
it's a
school.
small school. But the other thing to that though is we can scholarship very well. I mean, I
Yeah.
can if I want to, if I find a dude, I'll full scholarship. I'll give him full tuition.
Wow.
So, but that's not like incoming freshmen. That's not going to happen with them. We do give, and we kind of do a percentage base. We're very similar to a D2 school where we do like a 80,
Yeah.
70, 60, 50. Most of our freshmen come in at 50% tuition. Um,
That's still awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a very good scholarship, but like I said, the way that we do scholarships here, NAI level with our school is it's called a discount rate. So at the end of the day, when I have all 120 guys on my roster, we have to average out a certain scholarship. So if we
Yeah.
average, but I give one guy full tuition and I give another guy or two, three guys 3,000 to come play because they're
Yeah.
not as good. We just bring them on
They're
as
more like a walk on
yes,
kind of.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that averages out. So that's kind of how a discount rate works at the NAI level. But like I said,
Yeah.
we can give 90% tuition. We can give 100% tuition. We can give those, and like I said, freshmen normally start off at 50%. That D tackle that I was talking about, starting for us all year, he's at a 70% right now. He's
Yeah.
a very good player. We knew he was going to play right away, and so we had to get him.
Right.
So we offered him a really good
Yeah.
scholarship, you know. So
Yeah.
we can scholarship very, very well. However, it'd be even
That's
better if
awesome.
we could stack. But
Yeah.
it is what it is right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that's not always the case. There's sometimes like I look at it this way too. It's like, what are the actual financials? Because like you might go to another, D2 or NAIA program and stack, and it's still going to be less going to Kentucky Christian than it is
And
there. So it's not
yep, and that's
always.
what a lot of teams do. A lot of schools do. They stack. However, their athletic scholarships aren't as good as ours. So they'll
Right.
only
Right.
they'll only
Exactly.
give an athletic scholarship of $6,000, and then they'll stack $2,000 of academic money, and that's an $8,000 scholarship. But our athletic scholarship is $15,000. So it kind
Yeah.
of it sounds great to stack, but they kind of play the game sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Do all your coaches, like, I've always been curious of this, and I kind of always ask, like, is it tough as a head coach to trust all your coaches to be great evaluators of game film, or does it always come back to you before you ever even get past the in-person stage with a player
So what it's gonna
to watch their game?
it's gonna be a process. A position coach sees a guy, really likes him, goes to the coordinator. Coordinator and him meet and they look at the film and they go, okay, yeah, I really like him. Coordinator then comes to me and now we look at him and we're just like, okay, this is a guy, this is a dude. So there's always a process in place, but yeah, I do trust my coaches, and it just comes down to uh, loyalty and trust on a coaching staff is everything. And if I think that I can trust my guys to close a door and be in a meeting room and they say what I want them to say at any given time, I should be able to trust their evaluation of what we're looking for on the field as well. So I'm going to trust my coaches because, you know, because that's the right thing to do. That's what I believe. I hire the right guys, and I'm going to empower them, and I'm
Yeah.
going to give them as much responsibility as I can, and I'm going to say, go be great, and they're going to go find
Yeah.
them. But there's always those processes in place, the procedures where, hey, I like this guy. Okay, take him to the coordinator. Coordinator likes him. Okay, bring him to the head coach. All right, yeah, this guy's a 90%er. He's really good. So that's kind of the process.
Yeah.
But you know, freshmen are bringing in all the freshmen. They're a little different. They all know. All the coaches are like, they're all 50%ers. But then
Yeah.
you get this one D tackle, and they're like, coordinator came to me and said, "Listen, man, we need number one, we need to get this guy. Number two, he's really good." And so we put the film on.
Yeah.
The staff watched it, and we're like, "Yeah, this guy's too good." And he played
Yeah.
in Texas, so I mean, he's going to be a dude. So,
It's really
and
right.
he's proven himself solid, man. So it's always there's a procedure to everything. There's a process to everything. But bottom line is, you do have to trust your coaches.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. I'm curious, what's the program goals behind you? How does that work?
So
What is that? Is that a poster you put in the locker room to like
it's
what
it's
is
it's
that?
actually right here in the guys' hearts, okay? Because they
Okay.
don't even need that thing right there. Program goal number one: be a man of integrity. Program goal number two: graduate and have a life plan. Three, Victory Bowl champions. Victory Bowl is the NCCAA national championship. We're a part of the NAIA and NCCAA, which is National Christian College Athletic Association. There's like 16
Yeah.
schools in that. So if we don't make the NAIA playoffs, we could get an invite to the Victory Bowl. So that's why we have that program goal number
Okay.
three. Program goal number four is AAC Conference Champs. Five is NAIA playoffs. Six is NAIA national champions. Now, that's a part of our clarity of purpose. Our clarity of purpose is our team culture, and we talk about multiple different things within the clarity of purpose. But the program goal number six, NAIA national champion, there's a play off that. And what I'll do is every recruiting pitch that I give or talk that I give, I'll say this whole, all the program goals, and I'll look at each kid and I'll say, okay, so if your program goal number six is to win a national championship, how are you going to practice on the field? And the answer is like a national champion. Then I'll say, how are you going to go to class? Like a national champion. How are you going to act on campus? Like a national champion. That's the clarity of purpose. Our clarity of purpose is not to win a national championship on the field. Our clarity of purpose is to be a national champion in everything that they do. I talked to them about, listen, if you're in the dorm and it's 2 a.m. and you need to take a leak, you better get out of your bed, walk down that hall like a national champion, take a leak like a national champion, and get back into your bed because that's our culture. Our culture is to be a national champ in everything that we do. So that's kind of the
That's
play.
awesome.
So our clarity of purpose is to be a national champion in everything that we do. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's practice, whether it's homework, whether it's acting appropriately on campus, we are national champions in everything that we do. So that's the clarity of purpose, and that's why those program goals sit behind my shoulder all the time.
That's freaking awesome, man. Is that something that you talk about like weekly, daily with the guys? Like how
So
often do
we
you?
meet as a team every Monday and Thursday. So Monday, 3 o'clock team meeting. Tuesday, Wednesday, we have unit meetings, which go right to offense, defense. Thursday, we meet as a
Yeah.
team just so we can talk about the weekend stuff. And then Friday is unit meetings as well. But every team meeting, we start off with our clarity of purpose. And it's a crazy way of starting meetings, but I guess I'll go into it. Every day at 3 o'clock, when we're in our team room, the first thing I do is I blow my whistle. First thing our guys do is they hop through their feet and they start clapping and cheering, hooting and hollering, because we believe that positive energy drives everything. As they're hooting and hollering, clapping and cheering, I yell out TOI. They yell back to me TOI. TOI is a mantra for us. It's a battle cry. It stands for team over individual. We always talk about team first. Then I ask them 2 questions. I say, who are we? They yell back at me, family. Family is kind of a generic term because everybody uses family for team. We describe what it is. It stands for forget about me, I love you. It's all about the guy beside us. And love is not a feeling. Love is an action. I show you how much I love you by the way I treat you. Then I ask them a second question. What's our mission? They yell back at me, to serve others. In this world that everything is about me, we flip it on its head and we say, we're going to serve others. And that's our number one thing that we want to do. So our mission, to serve others. Then we go right into our program goals. And I say, program goal number 1. And they yell out, be a man of integrity. Program goal number 2, graduate, have a life plan. All the way through. And then right after that, we get done with that. We say our KCU football creed. I vow to believe in the process. I am mentally and physically tough. I stand tall alongside my brothers at all time. We just go through this whole creed, and then they sit down. It takes about 30 seconds at the beginning of every team meeting. But our guys, like I said, they don't have to look at this to know it because they know it right here.
If you're already spending thousands on personal trainers, nutritionists, private schools to help your son live his dream of playing college football, but he's not getting the exposure he deserves, and you don't want to let him settle for average, then you're going to absolutely want to be at this live training that I'm doing, where I'm going to share with you exactly what you can do to help your son to start getting 5 responses from college coaches every single day, from how to properly set up his social media profiles to when and how to post, to actually send the right messages to the right coaches so that they actually respond, and how do you respond when they do respond. So you don't have to spend thousands of hours trying to figure it out because you probably don't have the time, and so that you have everything you need to help your son be successful. So you're absolutely going to want to leave there. I'll leave a link below where you can register. Look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. A lot of people have stuff like that, and then you ask them, and you know
It's,
it.
I mean,
That's for damn sure.
and if you asked any one of my guys, they'd roll it right off their tongue because we say it all the time. Now, during camp, when we had team meetings every day, we did this every day. Every time we had a team meeting.
Wow.
We had a team meeting at 9 a.m. We had a team meeting at 7 p.m. They did it each time. It was every day. So, but it's, do you know what I'm doing to them, Richie? I'm brainwashing them the right way. The right way.
Yeah.
You're getting everything in their brain, and they believe that we're going to win a national championship. Is that wrong? Is that bad brain? I mean, that's great brainwashing as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
but also but I think the bigger thing is that you're teaching them how to. It's not just wanting the end result, but doing everything
Fall in love with the
every day with
process.
everything you do. Yeah, to get the end result.
Yep.
And I think that's a big thing. Like that's what all next play is about. So I love the way you do it, where it's cool, national champions in everything you
Absolutely.
do. And if you do that, you'll become a champion. That's really good, man. I think that's
So
awesome.
that's
So
what
I love.
what I do is as I go out and around and I speak to all these different businesses and everything about our clarity of purpose. And it's a whole deal now. I mean, I'll send you one of my talks, but I mean,
Yes, I mean, I could tell you could speak. There's no doubt about that.
but people love it because they're old athletes and everything, and they're just like, I want to get out in the field. I want to go play for that guy, and and they're 57 years old and they haven't worn a football jersey in 50 years, but they want to go play. So they understand what I'm trying to get them to get at, and it's all about the next play, like you said. It's all
Yeah.
about taking
Yeah.
your chance in life. We've got too many
Yeah.
people in this life right now that are on this doom loop of doing the same thing every day. Go frickin' take chances. Go do the things that you want to do. Go be great.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll stop talking.
No, I freaking love it, man. It's super true, and like this is also like from a parent's perspective. Like these are the things that coaches say like they're gonna teach their kid to become a man, like, but this is what it actually is, right? It's these things. It's getting outside your comfort
Right.
zone. It's going after what you want. It's being a champion in everything you do.
Absolutely.
It's focusing on the next play. And that's awesome, man. And the fact that you're like saying it and doing it and you could really speak it, I think a transfer of emotion and, like you said, authenticity to the players. So I think the Go Be Great, I think that's a great way to wrap up this podcast,
Perfect.
man, of like, because not only for the players, but for the parents that are listening to this too. So if you agree with Coach Aubry, if you like his mantra and you're interested in Kentucky, Christian, definitely reach out to the email that we talked about earlier on this podcast. DM the coaches, share with them your game film, do the recruiting questionnaire, follow their process, and then if you get an invite, have a conversation with the coach over the phone, make sure it's the right fit, and then if it is the right fit, get on their campus. If you're interested, that's the name of the game with this coach, right?
Absolutely.
Every coach, all staffs are different, but if you're interested, that's a great way to move in and potentially get an offer. So, Coach Aubry, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. And I know there's a lot of parents and players out there that have had an opportunity that are listening to this, man, and have gotten a lot of value. So I appreciate your time, and I hope maybe we could have you on next year
Absolutely.
on a podcast. I think that'd be
For
awesome.
sure. I appreciate the time that you've given me here. This is a great thing that you're doing, and I just want to compliment you. You just keep on creating that content, man. You're doing a great job, and you're helping us out as well. I would say that. So I appreciate what you're doing. Thanks a lot, Richie. I appreciate it.
That's awesome, man. Oh, that made my day, so I appreciate it. But cool. All right, look forward to having you on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Football Scholarship Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. And for more free resources, or if you're interested in working with us, visit gonextplay.com. Until next time.